Alright, hello everyone,
Hello, hello, hello.
and welcome back to Fate Stay Night.
Specifically, the Fate route.
Yeah! So,
Hi.
we're just gonna jump right back into it. We've now just finished our dinner for day one of... I think it's
Many.
right? Day one of many, you're not wrong. Yeah, it's a flowchart right now. So, just finished dinner. We're just chilling. I suppose I should take a little break before my evening training. The bat's been filled, and I guess I can ask Fujini to take Sakura home. Now that's settled, I should be as efficient as I can. First, I need to wake up Fujine since she's dozing in the living room. Then I'll thank Sakura for dinner and see the two of them off on their way home. Then I'll take a bath and rest a bit more. And that's how my day ends. Just before midnight, Shiro Emiya must perform the daily routine of utilizing Magecraft. I cross my legs, take my position, and regulate my breathing. I try to empty my mind. I ignore everything around me and turn my focus inward. Trace on. I mutter the familiar incantation, as if putting myself in a spell. Now, this is a kind of hypnosis. With no magic crest and no magical knowledge, the incantation I mutter is really just a way to focus myself and change my body. Typically, humans do not have any lines which allow magical energy to pass through their body. To temporarily change my body to create a pseudo-version of the lines, I need enough concentration to unify my entire physical and nervous systems. Magecraft is a battle with yourself. For example, I insert a burning steel rod into my backbone. The steel rod itself is the one and only magical circuit I can prepare for myself. By passing this deep within my body and connecting it to my other nerves, I can finally be a mage. This is not a metaphor. And if you look closely, a series of metal rods which cannot normally be seen or touched pierce my backbone. I'm a magician. Kiritsugu
Hiritsugu Emiya.
Emiya was a mage. He was a true mage who disciplined himself in a wide variety of mystics, plumbed the deeper secrets of the world and its workings, and even performed miracles. And as a young child, I admired Kiritsugu and begged him to teach me magecraft. But you can't just become a mage. You have to be born with talent, and inherit a tremendous amount of knowledge. I obviously never had that inborn talent, and Kiritsugu never imparted any knowledge about magecraft to me. I was told it wasn't necessary for me. Something like that. I still don't understand what he meant by that, but it didn't matter to me as a child. I always thought learning magecraft would bring me that much closer to being like Kiritsugu. I was blessed neither with talent, that is, an abundance of magical circuits within me, nor was generations of magecraft knowledge handed down to me. The magecraft Kiritsugu possessed, the magic crest passed down from the Emiya family, can only be passed on to a blood relative. A magic crest, which is proof one is a mage, rejects any not blood-related. As an adopted son, I could not receive the Emiya family's crest. Then again, since I honestly don't have any idea what the hell a magic crest even is, it doesn't matter much whether I have one or not. It's just a matter of gaining the ability. If I want to be a mage, I just have to learn magecraft that suits the traits that I do have. Magecraft is, taken to its extreme, a skill supposedly meant to release magical energy. You could say that magical energy is a life force. Magical energy is separated into two sources: mana, which comes from the world's atmosphere, and ode, which is created within living creatures. Obviously, mana, which comes from the world itself, is superior to ode. The sheer power of the world's mana is simply not even comparable to the ode one human can create. No matter the form it takes, magecraft utilizing mana will always surpass anything created from an individual's ode. So, a powerful mage is one who excels at drawing magical energy from the world. It's a lot like a filtration system. A mage will use their own body's circuits to draw in mana from outside and convert it into something usable. Mages call the circuits they use to accomplish this magical circuits. This is the inborn talent part. The number of magical circuits one has is determined at the moment of birth. Typically, humans have hardly any magical circuits. They're normally quite rare. That's why mages will spend generations trying to ensure their descendants have a body more suitable for magic. Some families even go so far as to practice selective breeding in order to increase the number of magical circuits in their children. And
Remember that one.
And since I was raised in a normal family, I never had a chance of having much in the way of magic circuits. That left me only one option. According to Kiritsugu, everyone is well suited to one specific form of magecraft. He also said something about drawing out magical energy based on the person's origin, but I never quite understood that part. What
Nor do I. There's a reason that wasn't part of the glossary.
What I do understand is that even someone like me can use at least one form of magecraft. If I can do that, then maybe I can be like Kiritsugu. And that's why I've only learned this one magecraft. That was 8 years ago. After a lot of thought, Kiritsugu took me on as his disciple, though he never seemed happy about it. I can't remember
Listen,
who took this.
Shiro. Learning magecraft means leaving behind common sense. You die when the end comes for you, and you kill when you must.
People die when they are killed. Mm-hmm.
That is your line later. Life isn't at the core of what we do. Death is. Magecraft is walking the path of self-destruction.
I guess I knew no fear as a child. Kiritsugu smiled bitterly, placing a hand atop my head as I nodded enthusiastically.
By the way, I will just say that origins are like they're just kind of bullshit. Like some people's origin is just like an element, some is sword, and Kiritsugu is severing and retying, which people use for like which that isn't healing. That is breaking something and repairing it irreversibly.
Oh.
In his case, he used magic bullets that made from his own rib bones that reshuffled somebody's magic circuits so that the next time they tried using magic, they'd probably die.
Fucked.
Yep.
Very. I just wanted to throw that tidbit out there because
Don't
this
like it.
universe can. Also, the more complicated a magic system is, the funnier it is when someone pulls out a gun.
You're not wrong. This is still your line.
There's a necromancer. Yeah, I know. There's a necromancer that has a gun that literally shoots fingers.
What the fuck?
Oh, to my last leak, I can go Goldita. Sorry, go on.
Sorry. Fate is weird. What I'm about to
Yep.
teach you is the sort of thing that could cause conflict. So you should never use it in front of anyone. And you should never forget your training because it's difficult. Then again, you don't really need to follow it either. The most important thing is that you always remember that magecraft is to be used for others and not for yourself. And that would make you simply a user of magecraft rather than a mage.
I guess Kiritsugu didn't want me to be a mage. But I didn't care about that. I admired Kiritsugu, not mages. As long as I can be the sort of person who lives to help others like Kiritsugu, on that day of fire and nightmare. Ugh. Got distracted. I feel the uncomfortable sensation of the iron rod in my backbone moving where it shouldn't. Losing control of my breathing now would be fatal. The pseudo-magic circuits would overwhelm my body and shred it to pieces. And that would be the end of me. Shiro Emiya would simply be a novice who died because he failed at an elementary step. I grit my teeth and try to recover my connection. After pain like walking through a storm of needles, the iron rod finally sinks deep within my body and fuses with me. I've been working on this for a little over an hour, and after all that time, I'm finally able to create one pseudo-circuit. A circuit capable of creating magical energy using my own self. Basic structure, analyze. All that's left is to allow the magical energy to flow naturally. Shiro Emiya is no mage. He's just a user of magecraft who can only create magical energy within his body and channel it into objects. And that's why I can only do one thing with this magecraft, which is composition, analyze, enhancing objects. It's just strengthening magecraft, where I apprehend an object's structure and channel magical energy to temporarily reinforce its abilities. Basic structure, alter. I hold a broken iron pipe. I pass magical energy through it to execute the most basic magecraft to enhance its durability. Passing magical energy into something other than yourself is like mixing poison. My blood is a far cry from the blood of an iron pipe. Forcing an entirely different sort of blood through an object may well destroy it rather than enhance it. To prevent that from happening, I need to properly understand an object's structure and pass magical energy into it between the small vacant spaces. Composition, reinforce. This may be easy for a skilled mage, but since I have a hard time generating magical energy in the first place, even a test like this is as difficult as shooting an arrow and hitting a target several hundred meters from you. A typical archery target is 28 meters away, so it goes without saying how hard it would be to hit a target at 10 times that distance. My body temperature suddenly plummets. The fiery pillar passing through my backbone disappears, and my lungs seize in a desperate need for oxygen.
May I say something really quick?
Hmm.
You know how this is called a visual novel?
Sure not a lot of visuals, huh?
But sure is a lot of novel.
My back arches in an effort to keep me from passing out. Damn. Failed again. The iron pipe is unchanged. The magical energy I passed into it appears to have dissipated. Damn. Into something that already has a set form is hard. What I'm attempting to do is like adding an extra brushwork to a completed work of art. Adding something extra to a complicated object raises the risk of compromising the object's integrity. The paintbrush, hoping to improve, may actually devalue the work instead. Which is why, despite its simplicity, strengthening magecraft is so difficult, and not many mages willingly use it. It's not that I chose this, but it's really all I can do. It would be much easier if I could make something from shapeless clay, but a substitute that just recreates its form is all show and no substance. Which explains all the junk around. Whenever I fail at strengthening magecraft, I try to make substitute objects to practice and calm down on, but they all end up empty. I can visualize the structure of an object easily, and I can recreate something very similar, but it's hollow and obviously doesn't function at all. I wipe the sweat off my brow. I realize I'm absolutely dripping with sweat. If this is as bad as it got, I should consider myself lucky. What happened earlier was really bad. Had I taken even a second longer to recover, my internal organs would probably be mush about now. If only pushing myself to the brink of death helped me improve, there'd be some hope here. But nothing comes that easily. What am I, a Saiyan? At the same time,
I was about to say
fear of
Goku sneezes.
At the same time, fear of death will stand in the way of improving my magecraft. Learning magecraft means courting death at every turn. Even rudimentary, everyday magecraft can spin wildly out of control from a single mistake, ending the caster's life. Pokemon.
Very first thing a mage must do is resolve to accept death.
Kiritsugu always looked sad whenever he brought that up. Maybe it was his way of saying he didn't want me getting into any of this. Saving one person means not saving someone else. Being a hero of justice means you just need to be an extremely egocentric person. That was always his line. Kiritsugu said that whenever I mentioned wanting to be like him, I still don't know what he meant by that. And all I'm certain of is that I want to save people. To be a hero of justice, like Kiritsugu Emiya. Can't even manage the basics. I'm such an idiot for letting myself get distracted at the most crucial moment. It's not enough for me to just grasp at the object structure visually. A skilled mage would be able to focus only on the crucial areas and efficiently channel magical energy. My dream is to become a hero of justice. Remember what Fujine mentioned at dinner. I never really thought of that goal as embarrassing or impossible. That Shiro Emiya will succeed Kiritsugu Emiya has already been decided. That's why I've been doing everything I can, despite how sorely I lack in experience. I don't know exactly what it means to be a hero of justice. But because I don't know, I've trained myself to the best of my abilities in hopes I'll be useful to someone. I haven't taken my eye off that goal these past 5 years, but whenever things go wrong like this, I start to have doubts. Just don't get it, old man. What the hell do I have to be... What the hell do I have to do to be a hero of justice? I look up at the sky through a window. It's not just about being good for someone out of the blue. Saving someone and being a hero of justice are two different things. I know that, but what do I have to do to differentiate them? I've yet to understand that crucial concept for the past 5 years.
Welcome to February.
Yeah. February 1st. I awake to darkness. I guess I'm not much for dreaming. Unless something big happens, I always have the same dream anyways. I always envision a sword. I have no idea why, but that's the only thing that pops in my head. There's no rhyme or reason to it. Perhaps this is what defines me as, well, me, as Shiro Emiya. I don't have any dreams of my own. The only things on my mind while I sleep are what others taught me long ago. For example, on how to be a mage. Even if I'm not a fully fledged mage, it's only natural for a mage to be aware of the world they're in. Put simply, a mage is an irregular, an outcast from society. But even outcasts need to band together to survive. My old man told me there is a society of mages called a Mages Association. He also told me I shouldn't ever get involved with them.
Good.
The Mages Association is said to conceal the existence of magecraft and manage mages. The Mages Association watches over mages and makes sure their magecraft doesn't affect society. But the strange thing is that they don't really prohibit mages from abusing magecraft either. According to Kiritsugu, the Mages Association is only interested in concealing mystics. Even if, say, a mage carried out an experiment that sacrificed, let's say, a lot of citizens, the association wouldn't punish them. Their priorities are expressly in preventing the public from becoming aware of magecraft, which does not mean magecraft is completely banned. Honestly, anything goes as long as the truth doesn't come out. At least that seems to be how the insane bunch of... At least that seems to be how that insane bunch of... oh my god!
How that
The-
insane
oh.
bunch conducts themselves.
Yup. That.
Also, I
Sentence
can
structure is
confirm they are.
hard.
I also can confirm the Mage Association is fucking crazy.
Whatever it is, the Mages Association surveillance is absolute. Typical magecraft research sacrifices the lives of ordinary humans, in which turn risks revealing the existence of magecraft to the world. As such, the Mages Association doesn't permit research that would harm society. Ultimately, mages conduct their research in their privacy of their homes, while the world is none the wiser. So, mages sometimes go into hiding to escape the association's scrutiny and oversight. So there may be some mages living in this town, and I just don't know it. I also hear Fuyuki is a spiritual hotspot of sorts. That probably means there's some prestigious mage with a storied history living here. They're called Second Owners, elite mages the association trusts to watch over territory. Other mages who live in the same area must visit these Second Owners first to get permission to build their workshops. My old man was an outlaw who cut ties with the association and moved here without the consent of Fuyuki's second owner. So, in a way, our family is a bunch of trespassers living in a house without permission from our landlord. Which means the second owner doesn't know that Kiritsugu Emiya was a mage. So I tend to feel like our family's status as mages is kind of unclear. But then my old man, the bona fide mage, died. And even though I'm his disciple and son, I don't know a thing about the Mage Association, and I have no real knowledge about being a mage. I have a feeling the association would want to dispose of someone like me, but they haven't made any sort of move. Apparently, the Mages Association doesn't have many eyes in Japan, so that's probably why I haven't been found yet.
Considering the main branch of the Mage Association is called Clock Tower, and they're stationed in London. Yeah.
But that doesn't mean I can let my guard down. The eyes of the Mage Association are said to be everywhere, and if someone commits a crime using magecraft, the church's heretic hunters will make their move. Using magecraft, however half-assed you may be about it, makes you enemies. So, with all that in mind, I honestly just want to study being a mage on my own.
Magic Gourd is playing World.
Don't worry about it. I wake up as the sunlight starts to pour in through the window. Looks like the sun's just now coming up. It's still dark out. Ugh, it's cold. Waking up in the morning is getting tough. I get up, trying not to let the morning cold discourage me, and quickly fold up my futon. It's 5:30. I've always been an early riser, no matter how late I go to bed. I might mess up once in a while, like yesterday, but that's rare. Okay. Breakfast. I let Sakura do all the work yesterday, so it would look kind of bad if I didn't return the favor this morning. I should hurry up and finish making breakfast before Sakura comes. I cook rice and miso soup. Yesterday the soup had daikon, radish, and carrots, so I'm making onion and potato miso soup today. I make the egg omelet and use the leftover konnyaku to simmer with bonito flakes. I make incisions into the sori fish, which will be the main dish, and sprinkle it with a little salt. All I have to do is broil it, but that can wait until the last minute. Okay, that'll do it. Almost 6. I finish earlier than expected, so I have some time on my hands. What should I do with this extra time?
I'll be honest, hearing him talk about that, I was like, am I in a War Boss game right now?
No, this is Dinner with the Emiya family.
Cooking with Shiro Emiya.
That is an
That's an
actual spin-off!
thing. Don't make jokes. Do not make jokes. That is real.
No! No!
It's what Elena said. Dinner with the Emiya family.
Shut up.
No, it's real.
Oh no! I was
Today's
joking!
menu for the Emiya family is what it's called.
I was joking!
It is very wholesome.
Guess I'll work up a
Basically-
sweat if I have so much time. Morning exercise is my daily routine, so I might as well do some light workouts.
I'm just sharing screen pictures of it in the visual
Oh my
novel
God.
chat now.
There's a respectable dojo built in the Emiya house. It was added as a sort of afterthought when the houses were constructed. Which is why this dojo wasn't built for a specific purpose. Well, Fujine uses it on a whim sometimes. Fujine apparently uses this place as her playground even before I came to this house. But then I became Kiritsugu's disciple and I started using this place more often. Fujine hated me for that for a while. Good sentence structure. Thumbs up. Anyway, there's only one thing I can do here. Training to be a mage means I can't neglect training my body. One of the conditions of being a mage is maintaining yourself at physical peak. When Kiritsugu was still alive, he and I sparred often. Jesus. Well, more that he just kicked my ass every time, so I never really learned how to win myself. But at least I learned the difference between a fight and a battle. In other words, I learned the difference between killing and beating an opponent, and how to conduct myself in each situation. Knowledge and experience are different. Without the knowledge to know the difference, it's hard to tell if you've really gotten yourself into a fight or a massacre. It's as simple as that. Learning magecraft means there's a risk of perishing on your own, as well as the risk of having to fight. And to mages, that means killing each other. That's why Kiritsugu wanted to teach me that I must always be ready to face death. But the person reminding me of that lesson is long gone, so the only thing I can do alone is some simple exercises. Stretching, push-ups, sit-ups. It's no different than what the members of the Kyoto Club do in the morning. The only difference is in the intensity.
It's on Switch. Every day, today's menu for Emiya family is on Switch.
Oh, that's very funny. Anyways, Pokemon U.
Good morning, Senpai. Did you finish preparing breakfast already?
Yeah, it's all done. And all that's left is to set the dishes and grill the fish.
Oh, I'll help. Leave the dishes to me.
Sakura is clearly eager in her reply, and coming in behind the ever-dependable Sakura... Sigh.
Or Elena.
Oh, yeah, that's right, it was Elena originally, wasn't it?
Yeah, Elena, you're Tiger Mom, right?
Yeah. Give me a moment. Go ahead and do the line for me. I'm just trying to do a thing.
I smell Shiro's omelet. So he handled breakfast this morning, huh?
Fujine casually heads to the table.
Fucking...
Well, let's just ignore her for now. I need to grill the prepared fish. Sakura, use the middle set of plates. The food will look better on those. Somebody else might need to take over for Sakura now, because I think Pokemon's not here at the moment.
Huh? The place with bumps on the surface?
Yeah, those. Grilled meats tend to not look good if you don't plate them well, and I've already graded the daikon. Sakura reaches far to take out the plates. As she reaches out, I think I see a faint bruise on the back of her hand. Sakura, hold on a minute.
Yes? What is it?
Yes, what is it? I'm back. Sorry.
What's
you think?
that
Okay.
bruise on your hand?
Oh.
She averts her eyes, looking uneasy. Her reaction makes how she got the bruise clear. Is it Shinji again? Can't believe he beats his own sister.
That's not it, Senpai. Well, I got this when I fell. You know how clumsy I am. That's why I'm always falling and getting myself hurt.
How stupid do you think I am? No one gets bruises like that from falling. It seems like Shinji needs some sense smacked into him.
No, my brother really has nothing to do with this. I just hurt myself. There's no need for you to get angry for me.
Sakura falls silent. Sakura may seem docile, but she's surprisingly stubborn. It's no use saying anything to her now. Fine. If you say so, I'll leave it at that.
Yes, I'm sorry, Senpai.
Why are you apologizing? Shinji's the one in the wrong.
Hell yes, he is.
The moment I say Shinji's name, Sakura awkwardly looks away. It can only mean he's the cause of the bruise on her hand. Shinji Matoa has a bad habit of treating his younger sister like crap. I noticed it about a year ago. Every now and then, I'd see Sakura injured, and she always made excuses when I asked what happened. When I asked Shinji about it, he revealed to my shock that he'd been the one who hit Sakura. I asked
Oh,
why,
you just admitted it.
and he told me it was because she'd done something he hadn't liked. I got pretty pissed off, so I did to Shinji what he'd done to Sakura. We haven't been on great terms since then.
Good. Senpai, have you met up with my brother?
Huh? Yeah, sure. We never fought in the first place, so there's not much call for making up.
Bullshit.
Well, that may be how you see it, but my brother doesn't see it the same way. He thinks you're still fighting, so you should be careful.
Hmm? What Sakura says strikes me as odd. Be careful? Of Shinji?
Yes, he's angry with you, and he was the reason why you quit the club.
Shinji had nothing to do with me quitting. Well, he might have been a factor, but it's nothing that you should worry about. And Shinji's right. This is a little unsightly. I point at my left shoulder. There's a little scar there. It happened about 1.5 years ago. Something fell on me during one of my jobs, injuring my left shoulder. I ended up with just a broken bone, but I also came away with a burn to my shoulder. After the accident, I quit the Kyoto Club. Our school's Kyoto Club, out of respect for formalities, allows students to perform sacred shooting rituals. Male students participating in this expose their left shoulder. Shinji pointed out that it may be disrespectful for someone performing a sacred shot to expose a scar. And since I was getting busy with my various jobs, I decided to quit the club.
Senpai, I may ask this often, but are you never going to shoot again? Miss Fujimura even said your injury shouldn't affect your performance.
Fujine would say that even if I'd broken every bone in my body.
I would.
I'm being serious.
I know I should give her a serious answer, but unfortunately I can't give Sakura the answer she's looking for. I don't have time to do club activities. I like Kyoto, but it's not something I should prioritize, so I think I'll give it a rest for a while.
How long is a while?
However long I feel like. Or maybe until it's time for you to graduate. I'm looking forward to having you look after me then, Sakura. I pat Sakura's shoulder. You fucking idiot.
Okay, I'll be waiting when that time comes.
You absolute idiot. That is not... I'm gonna slap him. That is so...
Yes.
God damn it. She nods so
This
violently.
man is.
She nods so violently, it looks like he might drop the plates.
This man is so dense he could sink the Titanic. Oh, I'm sorry, the Olympic.
It's almost 7:30. Sakura and Fujine have long since left the house for their morning club activities. I went to school early yesterday because Issei asked me to, but I leave the house at the usual time today.
Sorry, I had to make the zero
Yeah.
escape.
Yeah, no, I got it. Cool. I noticed something strange as I walked down the hill towards the intersection. Several police cars are parked in front of a house. Something must have happened, since a crowd is gathered. There are easily 20 people watching. Huh? I'm curious, but the mass of people prevents me from finding out what's happening. I don't have much time, so I should hurry to school. Murders.
By the way,
Who wants
Should
to
be
talk
clear.
about murders? Sorry.
Body has been discovered!
Ziggy Fido.
I make it to school 10 minutes before the first bell. I cross through the gate with plenty of time, as usual. Who this bitch? There we go. It's this bitch.
Hey, morning,
Oh,
Emiya.
yes, it's you.
I run into a familiar student. You haven't even changed yet, Mitsuzuri? Homeroom's about to start. You really don't have time to say hi to me.
You're absolutely right. Matter of fact, as always, Emiya.
don't know what's so funny, but she laughs heartily, not caring about her surroundings. This is Ayako Mitsuzuri. She's been a classmate of mine ever since we were first years, and she's currently the captain of the Kyoto Club. She's an unbelievably insightful person, and it was expected that she would be the team's next captain since her first year with them. Mitsuzuri is a precocious sort, and people have always had high hopes for her, and even leaned on her ever since she was a first year. Then again, she gets mad whenever someone mentions that in front of her, claiming she doesn't look as old as people think.
Mitsuzuri.
I should probably stop distracting Elena.
Maybe.
Huh?
Very.
Were you just thinking something bad about me?
I wouldn't dare. Just making an observation. If you want to get angry about it, that's your call.
You don't say. That may be your honest answer, but you can never say out loud what's really in that head of yours. Because unlike Shinji, you never let your true self show.
Shinji? What's he got to do with this?
No matter how much either of you protest, you and Shinji are friends. You're his only male friend. And let me remind you that I'm the captain of the Kyoto Club. Is it only natural to associate art club's troublemaker with a formal troublemaker?
I guess? The Kyoto's club's got nothing to do with it, but he and I go back a long way.
Huh, I see you just got ticked off. You always get frosty whenever the Kyoto Club gets mentioned. You're showing some guts quitting and leaving Shinji behind, you know. Do you not consider how the people you've left behind might feel like Sakura and me?
What? Did Shinji do something bad again?
We never have a day he doesn't do something. But he might have gone a bit too far yesterday. He made a first-year guy quit.
Mitsuzuri sighs gravely. Seeing her look so serious is rare to begin with, but the rest of her story is particularly alarming. What the heck? Why'd he quit?
Shinji took his anger out on him. He gathered all the female members and made the first year, who barely learned how to handle a bow, shoot his bow until he hit the target. Shinji mocked him the whole time.
What? How could you let something like that happen?
I would never let that happen. But a captain's got a job to do, you know? You know very well that I don't live in the dojo.
Well, yeah, but what the hell was Shinji thinking? He may be harsher than the others, but he's not the type to make someone into a spectacle.
Listen to you. You're something, Emiya.
What do you mean by that? Were you just thinking about something bad about me?
I wouldn't dare, just making an observation. If you want to get angry about it, that's your call.
Why, you? Using my own words against me. Fine. So, what got into Shinji? Why'd he do that?
I heard Tosaka shot him down pretty brutally.
Huh? Tosaka? You mean that Tosaka?
Do you know any of Tosakas in the school? The second year honor student class A, Miss Perfect Rin Tosaka.
That's the first time I've heard that nickname. But it fits. It's no surprise Shinji got rejected. And knowing Tosaka, she probably had some pretty harsh insults to go with the rejection.
Anyway, Shinji's been acting out since yesterday. And that's why I've had to watch him at the Hakuta Dojo up till now. Shinji does have low tolerance for some
Nope, that's
things.
me. Shinji does have a low tolerance for some things. I know it might be tough, but good luck, Mitsuzuri.
Yeah. But you know Shinji never lets go of anything. I'm just afraid he might do something really bad the next time he asks Sasaki and gets rejected again.
No, even Shinji wouldn't go near someone who just rejected him. He's good about that sort of thing.
But what if the person who turned it down comes near him instead? I don't know why, but Tosaka thinks with Dojo to come watch. How, where he quit, so you probably don't know that.
That's news to me. Rin Tosaka doesn't participate in any club activities because her family forbids it or something. She even turned down nominations to be a member of the student council, so I always thought she went straight home after school.
I guess this isn't horrible once in a while. He's always acted high and mighty, so it might be good from the story for once. Sorry, but not sorry.
Mitsuzuri has a weird way of looking at this. Now that I think about it, they say Rin Tosaka has a lot of enemies. I wonder if Mitsuzuri is one of them too. Hey, Mitsuzuri, that's kind of cruel even for you.
Oh, it's almost time. See you later, Emiya. You should swing by to see my mill work next time.
Mitsuzuri hastily runs off. Classic Mitsuzuri. I never minded how forthright she always is. I feel a bit more at ease and head towards the classroom. It's lunchtime. Our school has quite the cafeteria, and most of the students eat lunch here. But there are some old-fashioned students who still bring their own lunches, including myself and the student council president sitting in front of me. Pokemon, I guess. Unless,
Emiya,
actually,
can I have...
Sai, you haven't voiced anyone. Do you want to take?
Sure, I'll take them.
Yeah.
Emiya, can I have some of your fried chicken? My lunch is kind of lacking in protein.
Fine. Why is your lunch always so plain, Issei? I know you live in a temple, but there's no rule that prohibits you from consuming alcohol or meat, right?
Absolutely not. That idea is anachronistic. This is just how my father does things. Oh, that is Somi. According to him, a young priest should not indulge themselves in luxuries. And if I want to complain, I should do something about it. So, I'm actually considering joining the circus one of these days.
Sounds just like your old man.
He doesn't have any, like, worthwhile to the series, but I freaking love Issei.
Issei's father is the priest of Ryoto Temple, a larger-than-life figure who's also friends with Fujine's grandfather. Anyone who gets along with old man Fujimura can't possibly be normal. Well then, here you go. You owe me. I passed my bento box to him.
Ah, much thanks. This is pretty much begging for alms.
Issei bows deeply. I honestly question whether I should be reminded that he's the son of a priest at times like this.
Oh, by the way, did you hear about the commotion at the 2nd District? Around the intersection, you and I part ways going home.
The intersection? Could it be the same intersection where I saw the police cars this morning?
Apparently, there was a murder there.
I was half
I don't know.
joking.
Don't make jokes.
This is the second time we've had to tell you don't make jokes.
I had a feeling, but
I don't know the details, but only one child out of a family of 4 survived. Both parents and the older sister were stabbed to death, but by some sort of long weapon instead of typical knives.
a long weapon? Does he mean a sword or something? If it's a murder, then the weapon killed the parents and the older sister. I can't help but imagine it. Someone sneaks into the house late at night, unreasonable violence, a horrible nightmare the victim neither imagined nor wished for, like a traffic accident. The parents are slaughtered, the older sister falls victim without knowing what's happening. The lone child hidden in the shadows is covered in their family's blood. I don't know about hiding in the shadows. I have a vague suspicion about that. Issei, did they catch the murderer?
Doesn't look like it. Accidents stemming from faulty construction in Shinto. And now a murder with something like a sword here. It's no wonder the school curfew is... What's wrong, Emiya? Did you choke on your lunch?
Nothing. Why'd you ask?
Well, you had a stern look on your face, which surprised me. Sorry, I shouldn't bring this up while we're eating.
Issei apologizes and tries to lighten the mood. I actually don't mind topics like this, and didn't realize I was looking so severe. And then there's a gentle knock on the student council room's door. Sorry, is Ryudo here?
Yes. What is it, sir?
Mr. Kazuki enters, and Issei steps over to him and to have a quiet conversation. It must be a casual student council matter, since Issei looks relaxed. I think that's Issei.
Look at that.
It's something I don't see every
Look-
day.
That's you.
Oh,
That
that
was
was
you.
me. I see. Look at that. It's something I don't see every day. Issei is surprisingly shy. He keeps his distance from classmates and even teachers, but for some reason he's warmed up to the student council advisor, Mr. Kuzuki. Maybe they get along because they are both so straight-laced. Oh, okay.
Soichiro.
Soichiro, yep. Soichiro, yep. Soichiro Kuzuki is the homeroom teacher for Class 2A, and he's very serious and kind of weird. Some part of that is probably why he and Issei get on so well. The two continue talk. As I watch them, I can't stop thinking about the murder. Classes end, and it's time to go home. Can't wander around because I have to work today. I shouldn't do anything at school. I should head straight to the neighboring town, but... maybe the morning's conversation bothered me more than I realize. The next thing I know, I'm at the Kyoto Club. What am I thinking? Mitsuzuri said Rin Tosaka frequently visits. Well, that... I hadn't thought of that, but I think it'd be a problem if Shinji got violent against Tosaka. Shinji's unstoppable when he gets mad. Shinji lashing out at Tosaka because she rejected him would be bad. Well, I don't know exactly how, but it'd just be bad. Well, Tosaka's not even here. Tosaka's nowhere to be found around the dojo. Mitsuzuri worried for nothing. Pokemon.
Who's not here?
Duh!
Who's not here?
Oh no, sorry.
Oh.
I'm asking, who's not here?
Issei, who I thought I'd parted ways with, is standing right next to me. Why are you here, Issei? Don't scare me like that.
I saw you snooping around the dojo and couldn't help but come check it out. So, who are you saying is not here?
Well, it's Tosaka. I heard she had a spat with Shinji yesterday, so I wanted to make sure things were okay.
Is that so? Giving out more information than you have to is kind of suspicious for you. I only asked you who wasn't here.
What? It's none of your business what I do around here.
But it's pointless, Emiya. Tosaka isn't here. She cut class today.
What? Cut class? So she's absent? I see. Wait, Issei, why do you think she cut class? That's not the sort of thing she'd ever do.
Probably because she summoned Lucifer or something. I don't know. No, sorry. Of course she
Actually,
would.
Satan.
She's not the type to ever get sick. If you want to know what I think, she's bad. Don't let her looks fool you, Amiya, or she'll swallow you whole.
Somehow what Issei's saying irritates me. I may not know Tosaka that well, but I don't think she's a bad person. Watch what you say, Issei. You know Tosaka's not like that.
Have you got a secret crush on Tosaka too? My apologies, if so. Forget what I said.
Secret crush? Like hell! Don't make assumptions. I'm just worried Shinji's going to stir up some trouble.
So you came here to sweep in and stop Shinji from attacking Tosaka. You really were going to take on some dirty work for nothing. It's not my place to say this, but you got bad taste, Emiya.
I'm unscathed so far because nothing happened. But Issei, what was that crap you were saying?
What? That having the hots for Tosaka is in bad taste?
Yeah, that. Tosaka's popular. I haven't heard any bad rumors about her.
No, you haven't. And that's what bothers me.
What part bothers you?
Everything about her. That woman is a vixen, a minx, a monster. Anyway, I instinctually dislike her. My advice to you is to not fall for her.
You're the one who always warns everyone not to talk about people behind their back.
Oh, come on. This hardly counts as gossip. I'm even talking loud enough for others to hear.
No wonder I sense people
Tosaka walks
watching
up
us.
behind
Yeah.
him.
Just hits him on the back of the head with a fucking
Excuse
frying
me?
pan. Yeah. Well, that's a relief. Really glad Tosaka's absent today. Issei, please, can we talk a little quieter?
If you say so. Understood. But I'll have you know my words were hardly slander. I just want to let you know that I'm wary of Rin Tosaka. Everything I said is just my own personal opinion.
Yet you used the words like vixen and minx. Pretty sure minx is definitely a derogatory term.
Don't worry about it. It's a compliment. There are good vixens and monsters too, you know. I simply use those terms to describe her in a good smile.
No, what? Fuck?
Issei laughs.
I'll see you later. I'm going back to the student council room, but you're going to your job, right? You really shouldn't waste your time hanging around here then.
Issei leaves calm and composed, perhaps because he felt satisfied having said everything he wanted to say. I've known him for 2 years now, but honestly I still don't get that guy. I ride the bus from school for 20 minutes. I arrive at Shinto, the neighboring town across the bridge. Oh, it's not even 5 yet. I still have some time. There aren't many part-time jobs in the residential area of Miyama, but there are plenty in Shinto since it's a developing area. Our school allows students to hold part-time jobs, so I take on simple jobs. I prefer my jobs to be physical, and the tougher and shorter they are, the better. I get paid all while training my body, so it's like killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Today I'll work from 5 to 8 o'clock for a simple loading job. It may just be 3 hours of work, but it feels more like 6 hours since they make you work without a minute's rest. Which means I need to rest when I have the opportunity, even if it's just for 10 minutes. Walking around aimlessly would be a waste of energy, so I decide to rest at a park until it's time. That park? Yep. This park is nestled between buildings, and it's like a giant plaza full of trees and shrubbery. The park should typically be filled with families and couples during weekends and holidays, but this one is deserted at this hour. In fairness, the place is always desolate, no matter the time of day. This place is the same as always. I sigh in exasperation. The area is unkept, and it's really pretty ugly compared to the other places that are probably properly landscaped and maintained. As if the desolate location had set the mood, the wind itself blows cold and harsh. This place is the remnant of the great catastrophe that happened 10 years ago. It's the place where I was saved from the brink of death. Why don't they seed some grass here or something? It's a shame to keep it like this. The area is quite large, so if they leveled it, there'd be plenty of space to work on the path. I sit down on a bench as I think. With nothing else to do, I stare out over the burned area to pass the time. I don't remember anything that happened here. The only thing I remember is that it was hot and I couldn't breathe, and that some people died trying to save others. Wonder what happened. One adult here died because they were trying to save a child from a burning house. Another person was offered all of the available water to extinguish their raw, parched throat, while others in the same situation died. Someone here tried to flee the fire as fast as they could, but the people left behind died. And someone died here because they gave whatever it was that kept them alive to save someone they didn't even know. I don't like thinking about that. Just thinking about people trying to help and becoming victims for their trouble makes me angry. It's too much to ask for everyone to be saved, and for them to get their happy ending afterwards. All I want is to see people peacefully prevail. Why can't that happen?
That's a tough one. What you're essentially saying is that you want to save everyone.
That was Kiritsugu's response to the question when a very young me asked it. As a child, I obviously refused to accept that idea. But you saved me, Kiritsugu. I knew you were a magician and you could do anything. I knew you were a champion of justice who wouldn't let anyone suffer, and you did it without asking for any reward. Oh. No, what was it?
Back on
There we
left
go.
arrow.
There we go.
there. Sorry.
And that's why I always believed you'd manage to save everyone back then. In response to me shouting this at him, Kiritsugu looked more troubled than I'd ever seen him, and said something I remember to this day.
Shiro, saving one person means you don't save someone else. Listen, being saved by a champion of justice only means you're one of the few they manage to reach. It might be obvious, but that's what a champion of justice is.
Yeah, I get that. And now that it's pointed out, it seems so obvious. Imagine if there was a burglar and some hostages, and the burglar intends to kill the hostages. Under normal circumstances, a majority of the hostage would probably die. But if by some miracle all the hostages were saved, there's someone who didn't get saved. The burglar, of course, since saving the hostages was done at the cost of his life. The people the Champion of Justice saves are only those whom the Champion of Justice deems to save. That's why saving everyone is impossible. Even God can't do that. Especially if it's a natural disaster. No person is able to save everyone and everything. The fire 10 years ago was like that. As someone who was miraculously saved from the incident, it wasn't my place to say anything at this point. But I still don't like it. I don't want anything like that. I don't like the idea that there's a limitation to who can be saved. No matter how impossible it may be, I need to reach out to help. I can't stand to see people around me die, like back then. If the person I am now had been there 10 years ago, I would have thrown myself into the fire. But then I would have died. And for nothing. That would have happened for sure. Jeez, I can't even fantasize in my head. Oh, crap, I can't believe it's already 5. A bell in the distance rings, chiming 5 o'clock. I get up from the bench and hurry to my part-time job. By the time I'm done working, the sun is long since set. It's a little before 8 o'clock. I finished about 10 minutes earlier because I kind of overworked myself. Maybe it's because I stopped by the park before work. That might have motivated me to push myself harder. At the train station, the night is just getting started. There are a bunch of people milling about, and an endless stream of cars on the road. Guess there's no need for me to get something for Fujine. I walk along the path as I gaze up at a lighted building. It's the biggest building in Shinto, so I can't see all the way to the top. As I gaze at the building, enjoying the nighttime scenery... Huh? I think I see something bizarre. What is that? I stop to try and look at the very top. I squint, trying to bring what I can see into focus, but it's like staring into grains of rice. It looks like someone I know, but I can't think why this girl I know would have a reason to be there. It doesn't seem like she's going to have... It doesn't seem like she's going to do anything up there, but she's just standing there, looking down at the city as the wind ruffles her hair. She doesn't seem to notice me down below. Actually, there's no way she could see me. Even with my near-perfect vision enhanced with Magecraft, Even my near-perfect vision enhanced with Magecraft can barely distinguish what's up there. I'm able to tell she's up there because she's isolated, but there's no way she'd be able to pick me out of a crowd on the ground. She's just looking down at the town. It seems like she's looking for something. I can almost feel her sharp gaze even at this distance. I forget how long it's been, but I continue to look up at the girl standing in the void. She stands at the top of a high tower. She's like a magician, looking down at the surface world with the bright moon shining bright behind her. Oh. Then she disappears. Apparently done with whatever brought her up there.
Oh wait, there she is. She's coming downstairs. Wait, she's not on the stairs. She's on the... Oh. Now the ground is the same color as her coat.
Oh,
Da,
no.
da, 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 da.
The rooftop stands empty, and the scenery returns back to nothing more than a beautiful night sky. Was that Tosaka up there? I can't be sure, but I'm probably right about who it was at least. Wasn't? No, probably right, yeah. There aren't many girls I know who stand out like her, and besides, I'm not so out of it I'd fail to notice a girl I secretly admire. Huh? It's just... Tosaka sure has a weird way of spending her time.
Oh, so he admits it. He admits his crush.
Unlike Shinto, there's no sign of people anywhere in Miyama. There's nobody around after 8 at night, and the town is silent and still. The house I saw this morning stands across the intersection. There are no signs of life, and a no trespassing sign hangs over the front door. In just a single day, the house has fallen quiet, almost like an abandoned building. The girl and her parents were killed by a burglar. I wonder what life awaits now for the single child who survived. I bite my lip, frustrated by my powerlessness. I promised I'd be just like Kiritsugu, but I couldn't do anything, even when something like this happens so close to home. I want to help people, but I don't even know what I can do. I reach the top of the hill where my house sits. The lights are on, so Fujine or Sakura are still inside. I'm home! Oh, it's just you, Fujine.
Oh, welcome back, Shiro.
Fujine turns towards me, munching on a rice cracker. The TV's turned to a lively variety show.
You're late. You're home late again. Didn't I tell you to come home earlier since it gets so cold, dark so fast in winter?
I am home early. I had work until 8, so get off my back about that. So, where's Sakura? I see dinner's already prepared.
Sakura went home early. She said she had something to do today. She just came and made dinner.
Mm-hmm. Fujine cheerfully replies. As far as she's concerned, anyone who makes her food is a good person. I see. That's probably a good thing for now. It's been dangerous lately, so maybe I'll take over making dinner until the new school term starts.
Objection? You come home so late. If you make dinner when you get back, I won't get to eat until after 10.
Couldn't you just eat at home?
What are you talking about? This is my home.
Fujine tilts her head, puzzled. Honestly, I'm not sure if a response like that should make me happy or sad. Sheesh. Fine. I know it's pointless asking you to make dinner. By the way, what's that you've got there? You didn't bring over more junk, did you? Fujine has a tendency to leave a bunch of junk here. She'll bring stuff like bowls from restaurants that are too big to be functional, an unnecessarily heavy earthen teapot, or a weird guitar that plays itself. She must think this place is a convenient storage or something. Show it to me. I'm gonna toss it if it's trash.
This thing? It's just a poster.
Fujine hands me the poster. It's probably a poster of some no-name singer. Let's see. I knew it. It's a poster of a young man wearing a military uniform, smiling with his thumb up. all in front of a cheap-looking blue sky background. Oh, it's the Fallout guy. The caption on the poster in bloody font: "Loves lovely Rangerland. Come to the self-defense meetup." Hey, this is a recruitment poster for a youth group.
Welcome to Vault 76.
Yep.
I don't want it, so you can have it.
Oh my word.
I don't want it either. I quickly roll the poster back up and whack Fujine on the head with it.
Try to.
Fujine.
You missed.
However, Fujine counters mercilessly with another poster she's been holding. Aw. The poster sword bops me like... God! Stars. I see stars.
You know. You thought you were going to hit me. You need to up your game if you ever hope to do that.
That's not the issue there. How the hell does a paper poster make a sound like that?
Magic.
Did she manage some sort of technique only a true poster master can execute?
Oh, sorry. My poster's a collector's edition. Made of fancy plate steel. Is your head okay, Shiro?
Fujine, you're gonna end up killing someone one of these days.
Oh, you're funny.
Fujine's
If that time ever comes, I hope it'll be all good, because you sweep in and marry me.
Fujine, you're
Tiger.
like 10 years older than me.
Taiga is a purveyor of displate.
Yeah, not a chance. I'm not marrying a natural-born killer.
What? I don't think I'm that violent.
You would be that unaware of your actions. Pray that I survive. I have to be very careful from now on if I'm gonna have any hope of avoiding being murdered.
Keep talking big. But now I'm hungry, Shiro. I've been waiting for so long, so let's hurry and eat already.
Fujine gets up. What's with Fujine? She must really be hungry if she's offering to help, even if it's just setting the table. Fine. Then you take out the plates and bowls. You can at least scoop the rice into bowls, right?
Go ahead and talk for me. I basically had to rush Mario, so I kind of need to take a break.
Of course I can. Hey, do you think it'll be okay if I use a bigger rice bowl?
That shouldn't be a problem. Sakura's not here today, so we'll definitely have leftovers.
Good. Then you and I will have matching bowls today.
Fujine scoops mounds of rice into 2 large bowls. Whatever. I was just gonna go for a second helping anyway, and if I meddle in what Fujine does now, we may really not have any time for dinner. Besides, this is the kind of chaotic scene dinner at my home... What? This is the kind of chaotic scene dinner at my home has been for years. Okay, yeah.
Okay, that takes a bit to make sense.
Another day ends. We finish our rowdy dinner, and after I see off Fujine, I take a bath. After that, I head to the shed for my daily training. I complete it as usual, then go to sleep. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. Today ends peacefully and without incident. I'm sure tomorrow's gonna go the same, right? Smiles. I'm sure nothing is going to happen tomorrow that is going to make things very complicated. Nothing at all. What do you mean February 2nd is an important day? I don't know what you're talking about. Long day, long night. I'm in a fire. Houses crumble and people burn. No matter where I go, all I see is crimson. This is what I saw 10 years ago. It's a long-forgotten memory of the past. I run through the scenery, recreating what happened. I know it's a nightmare, but there's no way to escape. I run and run, I keep running. Every time the scene ends with me as a child running out of energy and getting rescued. I wake up feeling wrong. Hand on my forehead tells me I'm sweating, even though it's winter. Oh, it's late. The clock reads past 6. I hear the soft sound of chopping from the kitchen. And Sakura's early again. Not really the time to be impressed by what an early riser she is. I need to hurry up and get ready so I can help her with breakfast.
Okay. Shiro, what are you gonna do today? It's Saturday, so do you have work in the afternoon?
No, not today. I might help Issei out. Why do you ask? Why do you ask?
Oh, no reason. I was hoping you could swing by the dojo if you had nothing to do, because I'm in kind of a bind this month.
A bind? Why? My
bank account's hurting, you see, and it'd be a huge help with some maybe lunch for a while.
Teacher salaries be like? Yeah, not happening. It's your mess. You can afford to miss a meal or two.
I wasn't expecting anything from you, Shiro. The only person I can count on is Sakura. Right, Sakura?
Is Pokemon here?
Yes, if you don't mind having what I have, I can make you something.
Ah, good. Let's eat lunch together today.
Breakfast goes smoothly. Today's menu includes the typical sides, and the main dish is braised lotus root, konnyaku, and chicken. Sakura probably didn't need to make such an elaborate dish for breakfast, but I'm guessing she made extra to pack for lunch. Sakura is a member of the Kyoto Club, and Fujine is the club's faculty advisor. Nobody would think it was weird for the two of them to have the same lunch. That's Fujine.
Oh, by the way, Shiro, you woke up late today. Did something happen?
Fujine looks my way as she sips her miso soup. As much as she's just looking out for... as much as she's just kind of out there most of the time, she's pretty sharp about this kind of thing. Had a dream about the past and woke up feeling crappy. That's it.
Oh, so the usual. Nothing to worry about then.
It's not an interesting topic for Fujine, so she shifts the conversation in another direction. That doesn't bother me one bit. 10 years ago, I used to have the nightmare a lot, back when I couldn't shake the memory of that fire. But as time went on, those nightmares grew less and less frequent, and I've gotten to the point where the dreams don't bother me anymore. I've been told my nightmares were pretty bad back then, though. Fujine was already with us by then, and she's been sensitive about changes in me since. Still Fuji.
Shiro, are you hungry at all? Your dream this morning hasn't affected you, has it?
Nope, I'm fine. So quit using my dream as an excuse to try stealing my food.
Aww. I'm happy to see you turned out to be such a strong boy, but I wish you'd wound up a little more gentle.
Right back at you. Since I'm basically your younger brother, I kinda wish you'd ended up more delicate and sweet yourself. We both huff and turn our heads away from each other. Seeing that as a sign that I'm fine, Fujine smiles in relief. Huh. Honestly, I appreciate her consideration, but I know she'll get an ego about it if I say it directly, so I pretend to grunt and protest instead. Sakura looks puzzled by our interaction. Soon after Fujine leaves, I lock up and Sakura and I leave as well.
I won't be able to come help out from tonight till Monday. Will that be alright?
That's fine. Besides, it's the weekend. I bet you have friends to hang out with, so don't worry about me.
I have Shinji. Oh no, come back. Get back over here.
Oh no.
Oh, no, that's not it. Really, it's for personal reasons, so I'm still going to practice at the club. So if you need anything, just come to the dojo and I'll figure things out. And I'm not gonna go out just because it's the weekend, so please don't get the wrong idea.
What? Sakura's acting suspicious, or rather, she seems nervous. I don't know why, but it's probably just that she can't come over the weekend. I got it. I'll go to the dojo if I need anything.
Yes, that would be great.
Sakura sighs in relief, but the moment Sakura lowers her gaze, her expression stiffens.
Your hand.
Hmm? Sakura is staring at my left hand. I look down and see blood trickling from it. Huh? I pull up my shirt sleeve. Yep, blood. The hell? Did I cut myself with something last night? But I don't feel any pain. Looks like there's a welt on my hand. The bruise stretches all the way from my shoulder to the back of my hand. Looks like a snake that's trying to reach my palm from the top of my shoulder. Well, it doesn't hurt. I'm sure it'll go away soon. I don't think it's anything to worry about.
Okay. If you're sure, I won't worry.
The sight of the blood probably made Sakura sick, since she's keeping her head down.
Blood red marks and something on the back of your hand. Must be nothing.
Sakura heads to the club while I head to the school building. The schoolyard is filled with athletic club members training. This morning is practically brimming with enthusiastic energy. But something feels strange. Everything in the school is as usual. The students exercising for morning practice are lively, and the new school building is spotless. Maybe it's just my imagination. But when I close my eyes, the mood changes drastically. The building walls feel stained, like membranes have latched onto them, and the students themselves feel like empty dolls. Maybe I'm just tired. I shake my head to clear it and head on to campus. School ends early on Saturdays. Classes end in the morning, but by the time I finish helping Issei, the sun is starting to set. Guess it's time to go home. I pass my bag and leave the classroom. But then...
Hey, you're still here, Emiya.
I run into Shinji.
You're still here.
There are a few girls behind him making small commotion.
I can't believe you're still hanging around when you've got nothing to do. Oh, right, you're still kissing the student council's ass. Look at you. You get into the school's good graces even though you don't go to any clubs.
I'm not helping the student council. I'm just helping the school by repairing old equipment since we all use it.
Listen to you. Anything is given according to Emiya. Did I ever tell you how much you piss me off?
I don't remember. I probably wasn't listening if you did. You say that kind of stuff all the time.
I get it. So you're saying you'll fix anything as long as it's something in the school, huh?
It's impossible to fix everything. The most I can do is take care of things.
Then do me a favor. Our Kyoto Club's kind of in a mess right now. Got bowstrings lying around and the range hasn't been cleaned. If you've got time on your hands, can you take care of that too? You used to be in the Kyoto Club, so shouldn't you be helping us too instead of just kissing the student council's ass all the time?
Sai, take it.
What? Shinji, didn't Miss Fushimura tell you to do all that?
Elena.
Muted.
Alright, Sai. Both girls, go.
Yeah, you'll get in trouble if you don't do everything you were told.
But all the shops will close if you start cleaning up now. If that guy's offering, just let him do it.
That's kind of mean. Plus, an outsider can't possibly clean everything up.
Sorry, I'm in the middle of something. Please, someone else do it.
Pokemon.
That might not be right. Shinji just said he's a former club member. Maybe we can let him do it.
The girls behind Shinji are awfully chatty. They seem to be Kyoto members, but since I don't recognize any of them, they must be the members Shinji recruited recently. Are you seriously building a harem in the fucking club? Come on, dude.
Listen, you're gonna be the dense motherfucker trying to get with a one girl. I'm counting on you then. The key's in the usual place, so just go in whenever. You don't mind, right, Emiya?
Oh, I don't mind. I've got some time on my hands, so it's no problem.
Thanks. Let's go, everyone. This clown will do the boring chores for us. Don't leave me behind, Shinji. Oh, good luck with the cleaning.
I cleaned the Kyoto dojo without any problems, since I'm familiar with it. It's a big room, so it took a while, but it was kind of fun cleaning the place I used to spend so much time until a year and a half ago. Midway through, I considered trying to shoot a bit, but decided not to. It would be rude to the owner of the bow. If I want to shoot, all I have to do is bring my own bow and visit. I look at the time, and it's way past curfew. It's a little after 7. The school gates must be closed by now, so there's no need for me to rush out. Now that I look closely, I don't even remember the dojo being so dirty before. There's dirt and grime all over the place, like behind the bow rest and in the club room. Well, I guess another hour or two wouldn't make much of a difference at this point. I already started, so I may as well clean every nook and cranny. The wind is starting to pick up. It's so cold, my cheeks start to sting. Fuyuki typically isn't cold at night during winter, but tonight's certainly an exception. My breath fogs in the air with every exhale. No wonder it's darker than usual. The moon's hidden tonight. I look up and there's no light in the sky. The strong winds send clouds speeding across the night sky. Curfew is long past and there's no sign of life in the empty school. Not so much as a sound can be heard on campus, and it seems to be covered with colder air than any place in town. Huh? I think I heard something. I do hear something. Is it coming from the schoolyard? That night, under the frosty sky, I guess I got curious about the sound that broke the hushed silence. So I headed towards the sound to investigate. I go to the schoolyard. Is that people? It looks that way, at least from a distance. It's just so damn dark. I need to get closer if I want to find out more. The sounds grow louder, more intense. I know that sound. It's clashing metal. It sounds like a fight. This is so stupid. The hell am I thinking? I'm being stupid, obviously. Who would ever fight in a school courtyard with weapons like that? And then, there's probably a gut instinct that sensed danger. Or maybe keeping out of sight as I approached was just a stroke of luck. Whatever the reason, I hid behind a big tree big enough to conceal me and took a closer look at the source of the sound. There, my mind froze. What? I can't comprehend what I'm seeing. A man in red and a man in blue. The two of them are clad in armor so ancient it's several steps beyond old-fashioned. It's a ridiculous sight, but their rapid, deadly movements make it clear their fight is no joke. I don't understand. I can't even follow their movements. They're too fast. Their movements look so surreal, my mind can't function properly. The sound of their clashing weapons is the only thing convincing me the two of them are actually fighting to the death. But there's one thing I'm sure about. They're not human. They have to be something else in the guise of humans. My Magecraft training isn't why I know this. Anyone could see that these two aren't human. To start, humans just can't move like that. Nobody should get involved with whatever this is. Haha, no one. I can feel their intent to kill even from a distance. I'm going to die. My body instinctively knows before my brain kicks in. I just won't live if I stay here. My racing heart is proof of that. I sense they're living things designed only to kill. No knife or blade would be a match for whatever they're wielding. They're clearly meant only to kill. I suddenly remember yesterday's murders. The family that fell victim is said to have been killed by a bladed weapon. Damn. I shouldn't stay and watch another second, but I can't move a muscle and I can hardly breathe. My mind is telling me to flee, but something else tells me they'll find me the second I move. More than any internal conflict, though, I'm just paralyzed. I'm more than 40 meters away from them, but I still imagine getting stabbed in the back with that spear. I can't breathe. The sounds stop. The two figures separate and stand facing each other. Just as I'm starting to feel a sense of relief that the fight's over, another stronger sense of malice creeps over me. What? My heart feels like it's shriveled up in my chest. The numbness in my body turns to convulsions, and I clench my teeth in an effort to compose myself. Unbelievable. What the hell is that guy? A nauseatingly high amount of magical energy flows into the man in blue. Kiritsugu once demonstrated to me how to draw in magical energy from one's surroundings. It was a kind of magecraft so beautiful that it impressed even an apprentice mage like me. But this is different. The same way even the simple act of drinking water can look revolting if done excessively, the man in blue appears to be binge-eating. The sight of is so extreme that anyone with magical energy would find it repulsive. He's gonna die. The man in red is dead meat. The attack will be infused with more magical energy than anyone could possibly defend against. He's gonna die. That inhuman something in the guise of a man is going to die. But can I just let this happen? That question shakes me out of my paralysis. My body is suddenly free, and I take a deep breath.
Who's there?
The man in blue glares in my direction. The man in blue crouches in a way that tells me one thing. I'm his new target. Oh, fuck. My legs are moving before I even have the thought of running. The rest of my body finally realizes it's time to flee for my life, and suddenly all my energy is being poured into doing exactly that. I don't remember where I ran through or how I got there, but I'm in the school building. Real genius here. I regret my own actions as I huff and puff. I should have run towards town. I've got to be the world's biggest idiot thinking I can escape by running into an empty building. A school of all places. There must have been other better places to hide. And what the hell convinced me I'd die if I didn't run to begin with? My chest burns from all the running. I turn around, but I don't sense anything pursuing me. The only sound is my own footsteps. I can finally stop. My feet can barely move another step. I gulp down lungfuls of air, trying to slow my heart down and breathe a sigh of relief. I survived. What the hell was all of that? I try to recall what I saw as I catch my breath. One thing's for sure, I definitely wasn't meant to see that. Things that looked human fighting in the schoolyard at night. That's all I can really remember. But I'd seen something else out of the corner of my eye. Maybe there was also someone else. I can't remember what they looked like, though. Honestly, I couldn't afford to look at anything other than the two figures locked in combat. But finally! Pokemon.
Guess our little game of hide and seek ends here, huh?
The voice comes from right in front of me.
Hey, you ran pretty far.
I can't breathe. My mind goes blank. I can't think. But I know that I'm gonna die.
There's no way out of this. You get that, right? Don't worry. It's always like this when you're about to die. Nothing to be ashamed of.
And with that, he raises his spear.
Sorry, kid. You're just unlucky today. But you saw what you saw, so you gotta die.
No mercy, no compassion. His spear pierces my heart. I didn't even have time to dodge. No training I ever did prepared me for this. I knew I was gonna die. I knew the spear was going to impale me, but I couldn't move. The world distorts around me. Body grows cold. Numbness creeps from my fingertips into the rest of me. Cough up blood once. I felt like there should have been more, but it was just the one cough. That spear must have been special. My blood slows and grows stagnant. My heart just stops, all from a single strike of that spear. I can't see anything. I don't feel anything. I'm like a jellyfish floating in the dark sea at night. I stopped feeling pain long ago. The world has turned white. I'm the lone dark spot. So rather than being aware that I died, it just feels like everything around me has ceased to exist. I know this. I experienced the same thing 10 years ago. This is what dying feels like.
Dead men tell no tales. But the weak dying is just the order of things.
My eyes can't focus.
It's a dirty thing you made me do. After what I just did, calling me a hero seems like a bad joke.
I can only hear his voice.
I know, I'm not complaining. At least I saw the girl's servant, so I'll head back.
He sounds so irritated. Afterwards, I hear footsteps fading down the hallway.
Archer, huh? I want to settle the score, but I'm in no position to ruin my master's plans. Damn, my master's a nasty one.
The voice suddenly disappears. He must have jumped out the window. Afterwards, the footsteps I heard earlier stop. There's an awkward silence, then footsteps again. I can't hear that well more. Sigh.
Go after him, Archer. Lancer will probably go back to his master. We need to at least find out what his master looks like.
I don't know who's talking. I muster up all my concentration as my mind fades, but I can't put my finger on it. All I can hear now is the sound of my breathing. My lungs must still be functioning. I hear a loud whistling sound come from my mouth, like a passing typhoon.
I'm impressed he's not dead yet.
I sense somebody peering into my face. My breathing must be loud as the person reaches their finger out to try and close my mouth.
Spot. Seriously, why does it have to be you?
Whoever it is, they grit their teeth, seeming troubled. The moment I hear that sound, the person touches me without hesitation.
Forging and replacing an entire heart. Honestly, if this works, I should be a shoo-in for the clock tower.
The voice.
Hey, I mentioned that earlier.
You did! The voice sounds distressed, but at that moment, my fading consciousness finally flickers to nothing. Sensation returns to my body. Slowly, little by little, my bodily functions return, like dewdrops trickling down the leaf. Drip, drip. What's going on? The person hovering over me is sweating, intensely focusing on where their hands are pressed against my chest. The next thing I know, the palm over my chest grows extremely hot. It's so hot my corpse jolts and my cold, stagnated blood starts to flow again.
You.
I sense the person take a deep breath and sit down.
I'm beat.
Clink. hear something fall.
Well, I guess I couldn't help it. Forgive me, Father. Your daughter is just an extremely heartless person.
Heyo. That was it.
No, we are the heartless one.
Ah. The person mocks themselves and leaves. My heart resumes beating. And then I finally pass out. But it's not the everlasting sleep I expected. I fall into a slumber bound to wake again. Okay, can we not? Ugh. I awake suddenly. I feel sick and my entire body aches. Every time my heart beats, a sharp pain stabs my head. What happened? My intense headache prevents me from remembering anything. My body is cold and stiff, likely because I've been sleeping in the hallway for a long time. The only thing I can figure out is that the chest area of my uniform is torn and the blood stains the hall floor. My head feels hazy as I get up. The spot where I'd been lying looks like a murder scene. Seriously? Was my chest stabbed? I fight down a surge of nausea as I head to a nearby classroom. Staggering, I open a closet and pull a rag in a bucket. What the hell am I doing? I'm still confused. I encountered something unbelievable, then it murdered me. Here I am, still trying to clean up after myself. How stupid can I be? It's not coming out. I wipe at the floor with the rag I found. Managed to wipe off the blood despite the incredible weakness in my whole body, then gather up everything scattered around the floor and shove it into my pockets. This may be my way of hiding any evidence. I must be doing such stupid stuff because my head's all hazy. I put the rag and bucket away and stagger around the school like a zombie. My body heats up with every step I take. It's so cold outside, yet my body seems to be on fire. By the time I reach my house, the date has changed. There's nobody in the house. Sakura and even Fujine have left long ago. I collapse on the floor. Lying on the floor is what lets me finally calm down a bit. I inhale deeply. My heart feels like it cracks every time my chest expands to draw in air. Actually, it's the opposite. It's not that my heart is cracking. The hole in my heart was just patched up, so expanding that my chest opens the wound. So I really was almost killed. That's also not true. I wasn't almost killed. I was killed. But someone saved me, and now I'm alive. I wonder who it was. I'd really like to thank them. If they were in an area, it means they could have been involved with some of the people fighting. But it doesn't change the fact that they saved me, so I need to thank them properly one day. The moment I drop my guard, the pain returns. At the same time, nausea strikes me. I sit up to hold the nausea at bay. Place my hand on my bare chest where the uniform is torn. I might have been saved, but my chest was, as a matter of fact, pierced. That feeling, the agony of the spear tip piercing my chest, isn't something I can easily forget. Damn, I'm gonna have nightmares about this for a while.
Oh, you're gonna have nightmares about way worse,
When I
Shiro.
close my eyes, I feel the spear thrust again. I try to shake that delusion off, and I make every effort to regain my composure. Good. I'm calming down. This must be thanks to my nightly training. My thoughts clear as I take a slow, deep breath. The fever and nausea abate a bit. So, about what happened? The man in blue and the man in red. looked human, but I know they're not. They could have been ghosts of some kind, but I've never heard of ghosts having forms that allow them to interact with humans like that. And the thing was talking, which makes it a little harder to believe it was a ghost if it had a will of its own. From what I'd heard, only spirits that possess physical bodies are elemental types, but I thought elementals didn't look human. Well, that's not the issue here. There's a more fundamental issue. Those two were trying to kill each other, and there was a robbery and a murder at a house nearby. Eerie stuff like that has been plaguing Fuyuki lately. With all this in mind, the only conclusion I can come to is that the situation is out of my control. If only my old man were alive right now. I guess that was kind of whiny, but I'll put it all down to the patched up chest wound that still feels so raw. It's already decided to do whatever I can, even if I don't understand what's going on. I can complain later. First of all, I need to decide whether I should get involved or not. Huh! The bell on the roof of my house rings. No matter what anyone says, this house still is a mage's house. A bounded field is said about it, and if there's ever an intruder in the area, an alarm rings. Burglar at this hour? I berate myself for my own idiocy. Of course it's not a burglar. Given the timing right after the weird incident, there's definitely an intruder. It's no burglar, it's an assassin. They're here to take a life, not property.
No, it's a lancer. Assassin is a different servant.
Because that man said so himself. You saw what you saw, so you gotta die. The house is dead silent. The same murderous intent I felt at school creeps closer through the hushed darkness. I gulp. A chill prickles like needles down my spine. It's no illusion, and it's not my imagination. I know that the moment I leave this room, I'll be stabbed again. I desperately try to contain my scream. The instant I scream, the assassin will just leap right in and kill me. And that would just be a repeat of what happened before. I'm not prepared, and I'm going to be impaled again. My breathing grows labored as soon as that thought crosses my mind. I'm mad. I'm mad at myself for being afraid. I'm mad that I put myself in a situation where I'll so easily lose my life after it was saved earlier by the same day. I grit my teeth and hold my hand tight over my wounded chest to restrain myself. I need to get used to this. This is the second time. This is the second time I'm about to die. That alone motivates me to not die so pathetically as last time. Am I not a mage after all? And if I can't even defend myself from this, what were my 8 years of training for? Fine. Bring it on. I'm not gonna agonize over complicated things anymore. Right now, I just need to drive away whoever's here. I need to find a weapon. I may call myself a mage, but the only thing I can do is reinforce something that might work as a weapon. You need a weapon to fight, after all. There's plenty of
But I
things
think
that might work as a
Shiromiya is not
weapon,
a
but
mage.
in the storehouse, but I'm not anywhere near there. If I leave the living room and get ambushed, I'm just gonna expose myself, and it'll be a repeat of what happened earlier. It won't be easy, but I've gotta find a weapon here. Something long and thin would be good. My opponent's weapon of choice is a spear, so a knife would be all but useless. A wooden sword would be best, but I obviously don't have one just lying around. Something around here that might be usable as a weapon. Oh, there's only the poster Fuji-ne left. I can't help but feel utterly dejected, but the desperation makes me all the more determined. This situation's so bad it can't really get any worse. Then all that's left for me to do is move forward until I have no energy left. Trace on. I speak my incantation and inject magical energy into the rolled up 60-centimeter poster. I try to imbue as much magical energy as I possibly can into the poster to solidify it, since it needs to work as a weapon to go up against that spear. Composition, analyze. I focus my consciousness. Magical energy permeates the poster as if I'm straining its fibers with my own blood. Composition, reinforce. I feel that I've hit the end. Right before the magical energy spreads throughout the poster and spills out, I say, "Trace off." I cut my connection with the poster. I tremble with excitement. The poster is hard as steel, but its weight remains the same as before. It's turned out great for a hastily improvised sword. I did it. How long has it been since my strengthening magecraft succeeded? My magecraft hasn't worked ever since Kiritsugu died, and for it to succeed at a time like this seems ironic. Either way, now I may be able to defend myself. I at least have some discipline in swordsmanship. I grip the poster with both hands and stand in the middle of the living room. If I stay here, I'm dead, but I don't think I can make it outside in the mansion either. So I just need to head to the shed and make a stronger weapon there. Phew. Just as I start trying to hype myself up, every hair on my body stands on end. I'm not sure when he got in, but the guy drops from the ceiling straight towards me. What? Hey! A silvery flash strikes at my head from above. I can only assume he came through the ceiling and descends on me, meaning to skewer my head. Why, you... I roll forward in a frantic dodge. The man lands with inhuman grace as I clumsily roll out of the way. I stop myself quickly and get to my feet, makeshift sword at the ready. The guy turns lazily, looking bored.
You're making this whole thing kind of a pain. I was trying to be nice, thinking it'd hurt a lot more if you saw me kill you.
He shifts the spear to his other hand in slow, fluid movement. I don't know why, but it doesn't seem as aggressive as he did at school, which might give me a chance at escaping him.
Can't believe I have to kill the same human twice. Guess the living world is a meat grinder no matter the era.
He's complaining to himself like I'm not even here. I slowly retreat back out of the room. Only 3 more meters until I reach the window. I'll run out, then it's only about 20 meters to the shed once I've reached the yard. Then I should quickly...
See ya. Don't wander around anymore, kid.
He says it almost absent-mindedly, like it was just an afterthought. Pain shoots up my right arm. It all happens in an instant. He thrusts his spear forward, not even giving me time to react. I should have died for a second time right there. The makeshift sword in my hand spared me that fate. He probably thought I'd just been holding rolled up paper. He struck as if I hadn't been holding anything at all, but the reinforced paper sword deflected the attack, so it only grazed my arm.
Huh. That's an interesting trick you got there, boy.
His expression goes blank. His casual attitude from earlier vanishes entirely. He watches me now like a feral animal eyeing its prey. Crap, I was clearly wrong thinking things would be okay. This thing before me is some kind of demon unbound by logic. I keenly realized that letting my guard down even for a second was beyond ludicrous. That's right. Desperate as things are, I should have just made a break for the window right after whatever miracle let me dodge a strike from above.
Thought you were just some kid, but I can sense a bit of magical energy from you. So that's how you're alive even after I stabbed your heart.
The end of his spear points towards me. I can't block that. There's no way I'll be able to block that swift attack. I could have at least braced myself if he had a sword, no matter how fast he might be with it. But he's holding a spear. A sword is a whole line, but a spear is only a point. How am I supposed to block a point when I can't even see how fast it moves?
Fine. I'm gonna have a little fun.
The man drops into lower stance. In a flash, the spear swings sideways. I instinctively parry the blow aimed at my face.
Good boy. Come on, here comes another.
It's a cyclone. I'm not sure how he's moving his spear in this small room, but it traces a beautiful arc without even touching the walls. Ah! The next swing comes from the opposite side, aiming at my torso. God! The force of the swing bends my makeshift sword as I try to parry. Monstrous. Is that a hammer he's swinging? The numbness in my arms is telling me they might be broken. Why, you? Okay. I instinctively swing my sword. He must be mocking me with the way he keeps flicking his spear at my sword without drawing back at all. Numbness creeps into my arms after going for the attack. My makeshift sword bends even more, and the man's spear changes trajectory slightly.
You're hopeless. I gave you an opportunity, and you wasted it. Then again, I guess expecting a good fight from a mage is asking too much.
He moves like this is just a game. Such confidence. He's been letting me take a swing at him after he took a couple shots at me. I wasted my one opportunity as nothing more than a stopgap. So he sees no point in continuing this.
What a disappointment you turned out to be. Okay, time to die, kid.
The man readies his spear again. Don't jump to conclusions! During that microscopic opening. Say what you want, dumbass! I don't turn back to look, I just leap backward through the window. My back shatters the window and I roll out into the yard. I roll a few times, spring upwards, and... I blindly make my next move. I twist my entire body and swing behind myself. I manage to bat the man's spear aside, and he hesitates for just an instant. I knew it. If I jumped out the window, he was going to have to chase after me. And he would catch up to me and go for the kill before I had the chance to get up. So I expected his fatal blow and swung my sword to the side with all my might. It was a risky move. He'd have killed me if I'd been even a second late, and I'd have been just as dead if I was early too. But knowing the incredible gap in our skill, I figured there was no way I could have been early. The only thing I had to do was get up as quickly as I could and parry the attack I knew would be coming at my back. The gamble pays off, and my swing deflects his spear. I quickly reposition myself. Now I just need to run to the shed while he's still confused.
Fly.
Huh? He's not holding the spear anymore now, and he's right in front of me. He turns on the spot in a roundhouse kick. Whee!
I love this. I love the fact that it used the
Scenery goes flying by. My chest goes numb where he kicked me. I can't breathe. The biggest surprise? I'm actually flying through the air. I never thought that a guy kicking me would send me into the air like a damn ball. I fall hard onto my back. I slam into the wall, the impact likely breaking my back, and slide down to the ground. Oh,
Oh, you have a metal rod back there. Your back won't be breaking.
I can't
that easy.
breathe. My vision blurs. By a stroke of luck, he's thrown me into the shed that I wanted to reach. I lean against the wall, trying to rouse myself. I try to track the man through blurry eyes. He kicked me nearly 20 meters away. The guy picks his spear up and rushes straight at me. I'm gonna die. There's nothing I can do now. He's gonna reach me. I don't want to die. I need to get up and parry his hit. The tip of the spear surges. I can't even look back at him. My body on the verge of collapse practically greets the spear. I assume that's you.
Get on your feet if you're a man.
Dumb luck. My knees give out. I can't hold myself up. The spear goes over my head and violently impales the shed's heavy door, pushing it open.
Don't you love it when your main character dodges death by sheer dumb luck?
This is my last
Not being
chance.
salty.
If only I could get inside the shed. There should be something I can use as a weapon. I crawl into the shed on all fours. Just then,
This ends now.
he launches the spear at me. Damn you! I block it. I open the rolled up poster and create a single-use shield.
Huh?
The impact makes a dull sound. The poster, unrolled, probably isn't as strong. It blocks the spear, but tears apart, returning to a normal bit of paper. God! The spear's impact flings me against the wall. Ah! Shit! I fall on my butt and try to get my heart beating again after it feels like it's trying to quit on me. The moment I raise my head to grab something to use as a weapon,
It's over. But that last move of yours surprised me, kid.
the man points a spear in front of my face. Can't do anything else now. The spear is pointed directly at my heart. I know this feeling. It's the scent of death assailing my nostrils, reminding me of the pain I felt a few hours ago.
Honestly, I don't get it. You're quick-witted, but your magecraft's complete shit. Got the potential, but maybe you were just too young.
I don't hear the man's voice. My attention is focused on the weapon pointed at me. Obviously, the moment he thrusts, I'm dead. What else is there to think of at this point?
I doubt it, but maybe you were the seventh one. Either way, this is the end for you.
His arm jerks. I wasn't able to see his movements earlier, but now I see every last one in slow motion. There's a bolt of silvery light. The tip seems like it's being drawn towards my heart. Blood will gush from the wound in just a second. I know this feeling. The sensation of iron piercing my body. The taste of blood that will well up in my throat. That feeling of the world around me fading. I experienced all of it earlier today. I'm gonna have to experience it again? Really? I don't understand. Why do I have to be the one who goes through all of this? This is bullshit. No, I can't die in vain in a place like this. I was saved. If I was saved, I can't just die like this. I need to live to fulfill my obligations. I won't be able to do that if I'm dead. The spear is still going to impale me, though. The tip will tear through my flesh, break my ribs, and bore into my heart. I'm mad. It shouldn't be so damn easy to kill people like this. I'm gonna die and it's bullshit. I'm gonna die twice in a single goddamn day. Everything is fucking bullshit. I'm gonna die and I didn't even have the opportunity to be afraid of this whole goddamn mess. No way in hell. I'm not gonna let myself die senselessly. The likes of you. Huh? Is absolutely the right word for this moment.
What?
Like magic. A figure
Or like
appears out of
Magecraft.
a bright light shining from behind me. I can't think. All I know is that the figure is a girl. I hear a high-pitched sound, and the moment the figure appears, it pushes aside the spear pressed to my heart and steps between me and the man without missing a beat.
Are you effing kidding me? The seventh servant?
He tries to regain his composure after the spear is pushed to the side as the girl brandishes something in her hand. Sparks fly. Hard metal clashes and sparks fly again. The man stomps his foot after blocking the woman's attack. He must have realized he's at a disadvantage because he leaps out of the storehouse with bestial agility. She must intimidate him, but she quietly turns towards me. The wind is strong today. Clouds slide away and the moon shines through for a bright, brief instant. The silver moonlight shines into the shed, illuminating the girl who appears like a knight. I'm speechless. And it's not because I'm confused by all the things that just happened. The girl before me is so astonishingly beautiful that I'm at a loss for words. The girl's eyes, like precious jewels, stare at me without emotion.
I ask of you, are you my master?
Her voice sounds so valiant. Master. I can only repeat her words back to her. I don't understand what she's saying, nor do I know who she is. All I know is that this slender, delicate-looking girl is similar to the man outside. She says nothing, continuing to look at me in silence. I don't know how to describe her. She's special. So special that I forget entirely about the man outside, even though he might attack at any moment. Time seems to have stopped. Even the fear of death I'd felt moments ago vanishes, and there's only the girl standing before me.
Servant, Saber. I have come in response to your summons. Master, please give me your orders.
It's the second time she speaks, and the moment I hear the word master, the name Saber echoes in my ears. Pain shoots through my left hand. It's hot, like being branded by an iron. I unconsciously press the back of my left hand. Taking that as a sign, the girl silently nods her beautiful head.
Henceforth, my sword creates your destiny, and our fates shall be intertwined. And thus, our contract is formed.
What? Contract? What? I'm still a mage in training, so I understand what those words mean. The girl doesn't respond to my questions. She simply looks away with the same grace she's known when she nodded. She turns towards the shed's ruined door. Outside, the man readies his spear. She moves faster than expected. The girl in knight's armor leaps out of the shed without hesitation. What? Forget about the pain I feel and get up to follow her. She can't possibly go up against that guy. No matter how heavily armored she is, she's smaller than I am. Stop! The echoing clang drowns out my words. What? I can't believe what I'm seeing. My head really does go blank this time. Who the hell is she? The clash of swords echoes around me. The moon slips behind the clouds, and the yard grows dark once again. And within this darkness, sparks fly as steel strikes steel. Without saying a word, the spear-wielding man meets the girl who'd leapt from the shed. She parries his spear and knocks away his other successive attacks, driving him back with each attack. I can't believe it. This girl, Saber, is somehow overpowering the man. The battle's begun. What happened between that man and I... What happened between that man and I earlier doesn't even count as a battle. Battle? It's a fight between two people, able to kill each other. No matter the difference in ability, it can be called a battle as long as both are able to kill each other. In that sense, these two are fighting a battle. The man attacks her, swinging his spear so quickly I can't even see his strikes. Somehow, she parries his every attack perfectly, but something as she closes in on him. Damn. No, that was you.
Damn.
The man backs up slightly, clicking his tongue hatefully. He holds his spear vertically to ward off her attacks on his side.
One hell of an
For a
entry.
moment, his spear glows. His attack almost looks like it caused an explosion. Or a Kezu
It did.
roar. The man's spear sparks as if electrified every time the weapon the girl is wielding strikes it. The man and I are...
Okay.
Hmm?
Good to know that if we get Pale Extract, we don't have to fight Lancer.
The man and I
Word.
could both tell
If
what
you
it
think
is.
about it, Kezu does look like a bit of a spear,
Ah,
just not the kind you want.
It's a furious magical energy, so dense it can actually be seen. Her attacks are charged with incredible amounts of magical energy. The unbelievable amount of magical energy crackles along her opponent's weapon every time they make contact. The sheer force of her attacks must be staggering. If the man's spear strikes are precise, like a sniper rifle, her blows must be like the overpowering blast of a shotgun. Each of the girl's attacks bathes the yard in flickering light. And yet, that's not what's overpowering the man.
Coward, why are you concealing your weapon?
The man curses at the girl as he evades her unrelenting attacks. She doesn't respond other than to step up her attacks with her invisible weapon.
You?
The man retreats, having hardly so much as a chance to counterattack. Her weapon is invisible. Without being able to determine the weapon's range, it'd be reckless to go in for an attack. That's the trouble with an invisible weapon. but she's definitely got something in her hand. I can't make out anything of its shape or length. Maybe it's transparent to begin with. No matter how many times sparks fly from it, I never get a look at the weapon's profile. Parrying her strikes must be taking a lot out of the man. His movements aren't as sharp as they had been. It's the first sound the girl makes. She attacks all the more furiously. It's a merciless, unyielding dance of blades. The flying sparks remind me of a blacksmith striking iron. And the spear-wielding man continues defending himself as he disapprovingly clicks his tongue. Honestly, I can't help but admire the man, even though he tried to kill me. He's able to defend himself from an invisible weapon, relying only on reading the girl's swings and footwork. But that's all he can do. When an opponent so completely on when an opponent is so completely on defense, the only thing you need to do is beat them down. The girl steps in closer. She smashes down, striking with all her might.
Don't get carried away, fool!
Seeing his chance, the man disappears. Or rather, he retreats back as if to disappear. The girl's swing cuts through the air and smashes into the ground, kicking up dust. Her massive swing, which seemed to be a fatal blow against the cornered spearman, proves easy to dodge. Ah, fool, what the hell is she thinking? Even I could tell what happened, even at this distance. Her careful, precise attacks earlier may have worn the man down, but the tremendous swing meant to deal the finishing blow wouldn't even touch him. The relentless attacks must have put incredible strain on the man's body as he tried to defend himself. Yet he suppressed that pain for a single moment to jump out of the way. He knew that her last attack would determine the victor. The man jumps back several meters, then comes in to strike once again. The moment his feet touch the ground, he jumps in a triangular pattern and leaps towards the girl as if revisiting his steps. The girl's sword is still embedded in the ground. It's a fatal opening. The red spear returns in less than a second. The girl twists her body around like a top, while her sword is still embedded in the ground. The whole thing happens in a matter of seconds. The man sees his mistake and tries to correct, as the girl uses this brief moment to use her whole body to attack. Body slam.
Headbutt.
Team attack.
Both the man and the girl seem unsatisfied, though. Both struck, intending to kill. Both survived, so everything leading to this moment was in vain. The two open a bit of distance between themselves. They both just quietly stare at each other. The strain of the battle inflicted on them seems to be too much.
What's wrong, Lancer? Would you tarnish the name of all warriors of the spear by just standing there? If you aren't going to attack, then I will.
Running to your first death, or running to your death already? Fine by me, but let me ask you one thing first. Is your noble phantasm a sword?
He
I don't
phrases
know.
his question so bluntly. He glares as if trying to look
Could be a
through
bow.
her.
Could be a spear.
Oh, wait, no!
Could be a staff. Who could say? It might be a battle axe, a spear, a sword, perhaps even a bow.
Ooga booga hammer.
Ugh, keep talking, Saber.
If you use the booga hammer, you can't go booga wrong. Somehow this conversation seems to be amusing him. The man called Lancer briefly lowers his spear. It looks as if he's saying he doesn't want to fight anymore.
Hmm?
The girl seems puzzled by Lancer's move. I know what his stance means. I remember the fight at school a few hours ago. It's the killer move that was supposed to have ended the battle.
I'm going to ask you one more thing. Since this is the first time we've met, want to call it even for now? Not a bad deal, right? Your master over there looks pretty useless, and my master's a big coward who won't even show their face. Don't you think it's in both our best interests to hold off fighting until we're in better conditions?
I refuse. You will die here, Lancer.
That's so. Man, I just came here to check things out. Wasn't going to stick around once a servant appeared.
The air wavers. Their surroundings appear to distort. Lancer lowers his stance. A chill creeps into the air. The same thing happened earlier. Magical energy rumbles as it forms a vortex at the tip of his spear.
A noble phantasm.
The girl readies her weapons and glares at her enemy. I don't need to speak up. She knows very well how dangerous the enemy is. She is the one confronting him.
See ya. Your heart is mine.
The beast kicks the ground. Lancer appears in front of the girl so quickly he may as well have teleported. He takes his spear and aims at her feet. Even to me, that seemed like a poor choice. I can't see any way an attack that would be effective with the spear pointed at the ground in front of her feet. Apparently thinking the same, the girl leaps over the spear towards Lancer, intent on striking him down. But in that moment...
Gay.
His words alone radiate immense magical energy.
That was the magical energy you heard.
Bolg!
The spear released from below angles towards the girl's heart. Her body hangs in the air, the blow sending her flying in a wide arc. She smashes heavily into the ground. She's bleeding. She had been unscathed until now, but her heart is pierced, and she's bleeding profusely.
Curse. A reversal of fate.
I'm just as bewildered, but watching from afar may have given me a better perspective on how bizarre the attack was. The spear had been aimed at her feet, I'm sure of that, but then it just changed direction, moving and stretching impossibly to pierce the girl's heart. Yet the spear itself neither stretched nor changed direction. It seemed bizarrely as if the spear had been thrust into her chest from the beginning, almost naturally. It wasn't as simple as the spear changing its trajectory and piercing the heart. The spear didn't change course. It altered truth to make that happen. The moment he spoke the words and released his spear, the intent of piercing her heart had been realized. Essentially, his attack reversed cause and effect. The result of the attack piercing the victim's heart is predetermined, so the spear's trajectory is merely an afterthought to establish the facts. It's a demonic splinter that breaks through all defenses. The moment it determines the target, the spear pierces the heart every time it's used without exception. How can anyone defend against such a completely insane attack?
Amen.
No matter what effort the target makes to evade, the spear will always pierce their heart, which makes it fatal. And a cursed spear that always pierces the opponent when used. However, the girl evades by a hair's breadth. The spear did penetrate her, but it didn't hit anything vital. Her actions in evading the spear seemed even more impossible than the spear itself. The moment the spear was thrust, the girl turned in reverse direction with an incredible effort of will and strength, as if she knew what was going to happen. She was either incredibly lucky or had just enough protection to dampen the spear's curse. Whatever it is, the girl manages to avoid the fatal blow, and so survives Lancer's ultimate attack. The girl tries to get her labored breathing under control. Though she had been losing a lot of it, blood stops seeping from her wound, and even the wound itself is closing up. So this is what a truly extraordinary person can do. Knew she wasn't normal, but she's more than outstanding. In terms of her skills in the fight against Lancer, in terms of the incredible amount of magical energy used for every attack, her body recovering on its own, she is obviously superior to Lancer. But that's only up until now. She may be healing even now, but her wounds are deep. If Lancer attacks now, she won't be able to defend herself. And yet, even though he's at an overwhelming advantage, Lancer doesn't move. He audibly grinds his teeth and glares at the girl.
How the hell did you evade my fatal gay bulg, Saber?
His voice seems to rumble up from the ground itself.
Did you say gay bulg? So, your island's child of light.
Lancer's expression darkens. His hostility dissipates, and he clicks his tongue in annoyance.
Mario.
Damn, I screwed that up. By the way, she succeeded by a metaphysical roll of a d20.
Yeah.
Screwed that up. If I pull this move out, it's really got to be fatal. Sometimes being famous is a bit of a pain, you know. Don't you, King Arthur?
The oppressive mood lightens. Lancer no longer seems to have any intent on attacking the wounded girl. He turns his back as he walks the corner of the yard.
Now that my identity's been revealed, the usual servant rules say we should fight to the death, but like I said, my master's a coward. They're even telling me to retreat since my spear failed.
Are you running away, Lancer?
Yeah, follow if you like, Saber. Just know if you do, I'll kill you.
He lightly bounces off the ground. It's a wonder how agile he can still be, but Lancer jumps effortlessly over the fence and disappears before anyone can stop him. Anna.
Wait, Lancer!
The injured young girl turns and starts running in pursuit. You've got to be kidding me! I cross the yard as fast as I can. Won't stop her, she'll go after him and maybe get herself killed. It turns out I don't need to chase after her. She tries to jump over the wall, but the moment she crouches to jump, she doubles over and grabs her chest. I hurry over to check on her. Well, I'd intended to just approach and call out to her, but that went right out the window the moment I got near her. She is completely unbelievable. The shining silver armor she wears looks extremely heavy. The clothing she's wearing, dated as it is a bright, vivid blue. I've never seen anything like it. No, her clothes are not what really enthralls me. She is absolutely beautiful. Her golden hair, illuminated by the moonlight, is extremely fine as spun gold. Her face is graceful with a trace of innocence, and her smooth white skin all but glows in the moonlight. I'm speechless. Her beauty completely takes my breath away. How did this happen? Seeing a girl wounded in a fight makes me absolutely furious. As I stand there gawking, the girl remains silent, her hand clamped over her chest. I manage to quit staring pretty quickly. She lifts her head and lets her hand fall from her chest, her pain seeming to have eased. She looks directly at me. I don't quite know how to respond to that gaze, but then I notice something. Your wound's gone? The spear missed her heart, but it did pierce her chest, yet there's no outward sign of a wound. I've heard there's a kind of healing magecraft, but she didn't seem to use anything like that. That must mean she can heal herself no matter how wounded she is. My mind switches gears. I shouldn't be gawking at her. This girl is unbelievable, and I absolutely should not let my guard down around her until I know who she is and what's going on. Who the hell are you? I take a half step back as I ask the question.
What do you mean? I am Saber, a servant. You are the one who called me here, so you need not ask.
Saber? Servant?
Yes, so please address me as Saber.
She says it so casually, and there's a touch of contempt in her tone, but it remains mostly gentle, and hearing her voice makes my head go blank. What? Why the hell am I getting agitated? I see. That's a weird name. I cover my burning face with a hand and respond stupidly. I honestly don't know what else to say. Besides, how else would she respond when I just ask her what the hell she is? It'd be rude for me not to respond. I'm Shiro. My name is Shiro Emiya, and I live here. There's something wrong with me. I'm saying the dumbest things. But, well, she did give me her name. It's only polite I give mine. I don't know. Well, I know I'm confused, but it's still important to remain rational no matter who I'm dealing with. The girl.
Emiya!
Yeah.
PTSD intensifies.
The girl, Saber, just keeps watching me in my confusion. She moves not an inch. Forget all that. That's not what I was asking. It's the...
I know very well that you are not a typical master.
Huh?
Yet you are still my master. As long as we formed a contract, I will not betray you. You need not be on your guard around me.
Crap. I hear her, but I couldn't be more lost. The only thing standing out to me is that she keeps referring to me as Master. You've got it wrong. My name's not Master.
Very well. Then I will call you Shiro. Yes, I like that better.
The moment she said my name, I thought my face might actually burst into flames. Isn't it a bit more normal to call someone by their last name when you first meet? Wait, why would you choose to address me like that?
Let's go, Shiro.
Ouch. A strange sensation tingles through my left hand. It's hot. The back of my hand is burning. A strange pattern appears on the back of my left hand, like a tattoo. What?
Those are called command spells, Shiro. They are 3 spells which command the servant's obedience. They are a master's very life, so please use them carefully.
On you?
Shiro, please heal me.
Her tone is cold now. It seems she's not focused on me, but elsewhere. Wait, are you asking me? Sorry, but I don't know how to use complicated magecraft like that. But you're already healed anyway. Saber frowns. I feel like I'd said something that disappoints her.
Then I shall face them as is. My regeneration has only repaired the superficial damage, but one more battle shouldn't affect me.
One more battle? What do you mean?
There are 2 enemies outside. From what I can sense, I am sure I can defeat them in a few seconds.
Saber leaps over the wall effortlessly. Just like Lancer, she makes it look so easy. I'm just alone in the yard. Enemies outside. I realize what she means as soon as I say it. Wait, you're gonna keep fighting? I move without thinking. I run as fast as I can towards the gate. I reach the gate, unlock it with trembling fingers, and jump out. Saber! Are you here? I strain to see in the darkness. Clouds have completely obscured the moon, leaving it pitch dark. Of all times. But I hear something nearby. There! I run to an empty pathway. It all happens in an instant. I see a familiar man in red and Saber fighting. Saber rushes him and breaks through his guard in a single sweep. She easily cuts the man in red. Saber raises his arm, ready to... But before she's able to take his head, an incredibly powerful magecraft causes him to vanish. Saber doesn't stop. She dashes right at the person standing behind the man in red. And effortlessly negates the potent magecraft they'd unleashed. What? I knew she was strong, but this is unreal. That was a sort of intervention magecraft way beyond anything I'm capable of. My old man might have been able to cast something with a bit of weight to it, but I'm not sure even a first-rate mage could cast something so powerful at the drop of a hat like that. Even so, Saber nullifies the magecraft as if it were nothing. The enemy must be a mage, which means this match's outcome is decided. The mage's attack doesn't work on Saber, and Saber drives at them mercilessly. The mage falls backwards with a thud. The enemy miraculously dodges Saber's attack, but they can't move anymore. Saber corners the enemy and levels her invisible sword at them. My mind freezes. Maybe it's a momentary glimmer of moonlight, but I see then that Saber is attacking a human. I can't tell who it is specifically, but the image of Saber killing someone, their blood staining her hands, suddenly fills my mind. Saber moves in. She's gonna slit open their throat with that invisible sword. Saber, stop! I scream as loud as I can. Her blade stops cold. It's probably best for my sanity that I can't see her sword, but the tip of that invisible sword isn't wet with her opponent's blood just yet. Stop! I beg you, Saber. I glare at her as I speak. If I'm gonna stop her, I need to prepare myself to give everything I've got to do so.
Why are you stopping me, Shiro? She is Archer's master. I must put an end to her here and now.
No, Saber has absolutely no intention of stopping. She only stopped it because I told her to, but she still holds her sword at the ready. I'm telling you, wait! You keep calling me master, but I still don't understand what's going on. If you're gonna address me that way, then wouldn't it be right to explain yourself first? Saber doesn't answer. She just stands there staring at me. You're going about this wrong, Saber. I don't even know who you are, but I'll listen if you tell me, so please don't do this. Saber is silent. She still holds her sword to her opponent and stares at me, her lips downturned in dissatisfaction.
What do you mean, don't do this? Is this an expression of your idealistic belief that people shouldn't needlessly harm another?
Huh? Don't needlessly harm another? Well, yeah, it's better to avoid conflict as much as possible, but I'm not so soft-hearted as to feel sorry for someone who's attacking me.
So you are saying that nobody should take the life of another, even should they be an enemy, correct? I will not obey such an order. One's enemies must be defeated. If you still wish to stop me, then use your command spell to order me.
Huh? I'm talking about you! Girls shouldn't go swinging swords around, especially if she's already hurt. Wait, I don't even know if that's a sword to begin with. Anyway, you shouldn't be doing this! In that moment, Saber's mouth falls open in stunned silence. I don't know how much time passes with her just standing there like that. Sigh.
Oh, okay, finally.
So, I'm wondering when Saber here is going to lower her sword.
The person who'd fallen to the ground speaks up out of nowhere. Saber instinctively grips her sword.
Give it up. I would never lower my sword in the face of an enemy.
Even though your master is telling you to? Is that so? I didn't know servants, especially sabers, defied their master.
Saber grits her teeth. But she lowers her sword, loosening her grip a bit. She must have put her sword away or something because she seems suddenly much less hostile.
Okay, so so I can stand up now, right?
Whoever it was that'd been on the ground finally stands. They act brazen as they pat the dirt from their bottom. Wait a minute. That's... you're Tosaka?
Yes. Good evening, Emiya.
Rin Tosaka replies with the biggest smile on her face. This is unbelievable. I don't know what to think anymore. The way she greets me so casually makes me question everything that's happened was even real. Well, so you were the one who cast that magecraft earlier, which makes you...
A mage. Well, we're pretty much the same, so I guess there's no sense of hiding it anymore.
Ugh. Hearing her be so blunt about it makes me seem like the idiot here. You are.
Anyway, let's talk inside. I bet you have no clue what's going on, right, Emiya?
As she says that, she walks towards the entrance of my house. Wait, Tosaka, what the hell are you thinking? At that moment, when Tosaka turns around, her smile changes into something completely different.
Don't be silly. I'm thinking about a lot of things, and that's why I'm offering to talk. Emiya, I know you're surprised by all the things that just happened, but sometimes you just have to accept certain things or you'll wind up dead. This, by the way, is one of those times.
She glares at me, and I can see actual animosity in her eyes. Don't be jelly.
I'm glad you understand. Now, let's get inside.
Tosaka walks through the gate. Look, don't be jelly at me because you fucked up. She seems really pissed. Well, I don't blame her. Just a second ago, she had a sword pointed at her, and she was about to die. Still, maybe it's my imagination, but I think the Tosaka school and the one I see right now are completely different people.
I'm gonna have
You-
to hop off.
Yeah, we can probably wrap it here. We've
Probably.
finally gotten to where the prologue left off. This seems like a good place as any.
Oh, so we're starting Fate next time then. Got it.
Yeah.
Yes, Elena.
All right. Well, with that, thank you all so very much for stopping by. Take care of yourselves, and we'll catch you in the next stream.
Yep.